welcome to today's lesson. Coach Tom here, Coach Alexander. We're going to work on a solo drill that you can do at the house, wall crawling. Now, if you're a fan of UFC, MMA, you'll see this in just about every event. It's a huge tactic and huge strategy. In class, we don't train it too much. We have kind of a gentleman's agreement. When we get close to the wall, we kind of move away. But in a self-defense situation or a mixed martial arts situation, that's not going to be something that you have the opportunity to do. You're going to need to know how to get up when you're pinned against that barrier. So let's kind of look at how this situation arises, and then I'll show you how to do it kind of on your own without a training partner. Okay, so we're going to take the scenario where I'm underneath my opponent. So Alex has scored a takedown on me, and I'm in this guard position here. Now, typically we preach that the guard is a good defensive position to avoid strikes, and that is true. However, when I'm jammed up against some type of a barrier, a lot of my angle is taken away, and it takes away a lot of my counterattack. My ability to sweep is greatly diminished. A lot of my moves are neutralized because I don't have any angle to execute. So what it would look like is like if I'm hugging on in the guard and he just kind of walks me into the wall here, all right? Specifically, if I get my head like jammed up against this wall and he keeps a lot of pressure, it's going to be really difficult for me to get myself out of this position without taking some damage, okay? One fighter that was very good at this back like in the 2000s was Tito Ortiz, and he kind of was maybe one of the innovators of putting people against the wall and then just keeping them pinned here and then just dropping big damage with elbows, okay? So he kind of revolutionized this position and forced everyone to start thinking about how to get up from the bottom. So what we want to do here in this scenario, let's come back a little bit, is you have to have a little situational awareness what's going on around you. Like right here, I can see I'm kind of getting close to this barrier. So I have to kind of make an initiative to get my back against this wall before he drives me completely up against it and I get stuck under him, okay? So it's gonna look kind of sloppy, but it works kind of well if the guy's continuing to try to put top pressure down, okay? So all I'm gonna do is open my legs up and get to my side and just start scooting myself as quickly as I can until my back is all the way against the wall. Now, in this position, the most important thing is my head being higher than his head. Because if his head is above mine, he can now hit me, okay? If my head is higher than his, I don't care how much control he has of me, and I might get stuck here for a long time, but he's not gonna be damaging my face as long as my head is higher. So that's the #1 priority. Once I establish my high head position, I can work to get up. It's kind of like a modified stand-up and base position. I'm just gonna keep shoving downward pressure on his head and post with one hand, okay? My goal is to get this foot planted on the ground in some way. So I'm gonna kind of drive my back into the wall and get that foot on the floor. Once that foot's on the floor, I'm now gonna push with both feet into the ground and start crawling my shoulder blades up while I look for underhooks on my opponent, okay? Whether he follows me to the upper body or whether he stays down low on the legs, I wanna keep using these underhooks to kind of take away some of his offense, okay? And then we'll look at how to get out of these positions a little bit later. So the way we drill this, and you want to do this over and over and over. Just lay flat on your back, visualize the guys here, there's the wall, uncross, scoot, and try to challenge yourself to get from point A to point B quickly, because there is some lack of control in that position. Hand post, foot gets on the floor, now the hand comes off the ground, and you start digging for underhooks as you shoulder walk up the wall, okay? That's the basic wall crawl or wall walk. And if it's super easy, you can grab something with weight like a medicine ball, works great, and give yourself a little extra cardio workout with that. Okay, give it a shot. Hey everybody, we're back. Now we're gonna do a little drill that you're gonna need a loved one to help you with. We're gonna look at escaping body locks, whether we're in the front or the rear position. So let's look at this position where you're gripped from behind. And the main thing we don't want to have happen here is the person to lift me up and take me off of my base. So I want to drop my base like low. And then I want to create, if we can turn sideways here, I want to create as much space between my hips and his hips as possible. So the closer Alex's hips are to mine, the easier he'll be able to lift me, okay, and control. So when I start to create space here, that lift becomes very difficult. Okay? Imagine you're going to lift a real heavy object from this position instead of hugging it real close. You can start to see that's going to be quite difficult. So my hips are going to start to walk out, And all I'm gonna do is start pushing in a downward direction on his hands, like right here. I'm not trying to twist his fingers off or anything like that. I'm just walking out and applying downward pressure on the hands until that grip breaks. So it's gonna look like this. Boom, okay? Now, when the grip breaks, there's gonna be like a little confusion, a little chaos going on. So what I wanna do is establish another safe position as quickly as I can. So I'm gonna do it slow. I'm walking out, I'm kind of leaning back on him. Okay, it'll almost feel like I'm gonna fall down backwards if he wasn't behind me. I really wanna like lean on him. Boom. Now as soon as the grip breaks, I'm gonna step in a backward step with my leg and arm at the same time. And then I have this clinch position, which we were drilling the other day, okay? So it leads right into a safe clinching position. So we're gripped, we drop in base, we walk out, push the hands down, and lock here. Another one that you guys can try, now when you're at home, don't throw each other with this, but it's a very powerful lifting position, okay? So what I'll do here is I'll drop down. Let's say I've tried this and he's just got ridiculous grip strength. I can't get my hips out far enough and I'm not able to create the leverage. I drop down low, turn a little bit, and I'm gonna grip this far side leg and put weight on it here. So it's like I'm stapling his leg to the mat, okay? My leg is gonna swivel behind him, and now I have a lot of leverage to lift, okay? Now, I'm not gonna slam my partner, but you'll feel like you can lift a pretty heavy person with this position. I'm just balancing him on my leg like a seesaw, okay? And of course, in reality, I'm gonna drop to the floor and it's not gonna be a fun day at the office for him. So once again, he's gripping me, I'm trying, he feels like this grip is really solid, good close hip pressure. I get lower than him, I'm grabbing the far side leg, okay, keeping him in position, and I make a swivel step. This leg steps behind him, and now all I do is just lift the legs up and just balance them on my leg. It's a really strong technique. From the front position, what we want to do here, same concept as moving my hips out and away, kind of elongating his underhooks. When his arms are in close, he starts to have a lot of control over me. So my job is to use my hips to elongate those arms. I'm going to connect my arms here and press, one sec, I want to press straight down, which is going to create tension on his triceps. At the same time I do that, I'm walking my hip back. So keep moving your hips back as you press down, the grip breaks. Right away, swim one hand inside, we have a safe clinch position, okay? Once again, hips back, really relax with my upper body, okay? Locking. If you can't reach your hands, that's fine too, just press. You still get a similar result. You should be able to kind of get some type of a grip here. Boom, okay? Swim one hand in, now you've reset the position. You might run into a situation where the person has grips higher on you. So here, there's no way that I can connect my hands because he's in a high underhook position. And this is great for walking me back. Like he can really get me up on my tippy toes and walk me around. So I like to do the Pez dispenser technique here, which is where I'm going to make his head go all the way back like it's a Pez dispenser. Now I'm gripping his hair, but I wouldn't do that. I'm going to find his chin. One second. I'm going to find my palm on his chin, reinforce with my other hand, and I'm just pushing his head straight back. I'm trying to make his head go all the way back to his spine. This is a lot of pressure on your neck, so do it slowly, okay? So I'm here, can't lock my hands. I start weaving inside and push. Boom. Now look at the position he's in. I learned this from my son. Boom! Ring the bell right there. Over. Don't try that one at home, okay? So one more time. Can't lock my hands, sink my base. Notice my hips are back here. Pez dispenser, all the way back, and boom! Right there. All right, Alex. Thanks for the help, sir.